Like all of you, I lived the pandemic in a very specific, personal way, yet likely not so different than you. I'm a firefighter, a first responder working as a captain on a truck company. We respond to COVID patients in homes and skilled nursing facilities constantly, providing medical care until an ambulance arrives. I'm also a department director in a residential facility for individuals with intellectual disabilities, working with the most vulnerable people in our society. These folks don't understand everything that's going on right now, but they definitely know that something is different. They know their families aren't visiting, and their staff are leaving, and those caring for them are trying to figure it out as they go. And I'm a mental health counselor, providing support and therapy for people doing the same work I'm doing, while they also try and support a family, maintain relationships, and keep their emotional heads above water. This is the trifecta for pandemic involvement. I also spent a significant amount of time running incident management teams, which most organizations implement when there's a flood or a tornado, and it lasts for a few days, maybe a few weeks. We've been implementing this pandemic team for years. Now, these teams ensure that the fire department and the facility where I work, we're addressing staffing plans when there are no staff, virus mitigation, PPE burn rates, contact tracing, and mental health support. For example, we have 3 people working in the dietary department at my facility. They manage 3 meals and 3 snacks a day, 7 days a week for 63 people. If 1, 2, or 3 of them end up positive or unable to work all at the same time, which happened 2 weeks ago, what happens? Our people have to eat by regulation at very specific times. Someone has to make this plan. That's me. All of these are things we never thought we'd be managing. What became clear to me pretty quickly is that people, you, me, all of us need consistent, ongoing communication, information, and reinforcement in times of trauma. Whether or not I have the correct answers or the right policies or the most encouraging messages, it's the consistency, being present. This was vital. So, for 368 days in a row, I emailed a daily reinforcement to a group of several hundred people. This was a short email and encouragement designed to build a community of people who took care of each other. And more than that, a group of people who would accept care from others. This was much more challenging. I would send the email out around 6 in the morning, and by 9, the responses would come in letting us know that we are okay. We are okay. And yet, my life through this, in spite of all this, was relatively easy. I had tasks, I had things to do, I had projects to work on to try and get us through the pandemic as efficiently and effectively as possible. We are a people of action. We see a problem and we try and fix it. This is a pandemic that, in order to fix it, we have to do nothing. We have to stay home, we have to stay still, we have to avoid others. That was brutal. There are a few people in my life, and most of them are probably here tonight, because they worked hard at staying in, allowed me to work hard at the things I needed to do. I couldn't put myself in the situations I was in without knowing that the people I love are doing what they could do to not become one of the people that my fire truck was going to help. April 25th, 2020. The balance in our lives has been thrown off. All of us have been rocks. All of us have teetered. All of us have stumbled. This is normal. And we've all gotten back up. No matter how many times we fall, we get back up and we lend a hand to those around us. It's why we're going to get through this and be better on the other side. Yesterday, we helped someone. Tomorrow, someone will help us. Trust it. We are doing this. April 29th, 2020. Being thankful. It has its challenges right now. Resentment comes more naturally at times, so let's vent. What are things to resent? Well, we miss talking about something other than this. We miss people. We miss being comfortable in public. We miss being spontaneous. We miss working. We miss restaurants. But most of all, we miss a peaceful night's sleep. A night where we don't go to bed thinking about this and wake up thinking about this. We will rest again. Something I realized, and research reinforced, is that our emotional state is directly reflected by what we consume, that is, eat and drink. Conversely, what we eat and drink can give us insight into what we are feeling. Drinking is quick. Drinking gets us through the next hour. It's short term. It was a counterpunch to the haymaker punch that was the beginning of the pandemic. Any one of us that's ever been hit before or accidentally knocked your head on something really hard can recall the feelings. It's dazed, it's out of sorts, it's confused. But isn't that kind of what happened? The pandemic punched us, and we had to respond. And our first response was to go numb. May 15th, 2020. It's a weekend, which may not feel much different than any other day. And we're running out of creative ways to entertain ourselves. This is normal. It's extremely taxing doing what we're doing, staying centered, taking care of each other, loving each other through this, taking care of ourselves, staying away from people, staying home. But sometimes we take a little time away and we get to eat chips and salsa while someone else watches the pandemic. Gin and tonic, vodka soda, bourbon, rocks, tequila straight, Baileys and coffee, all of it as our first coping mechanism. On TV shows, Jimmy Smits and Dennis Franz, Don Johnson, Philip Michael Thomas, Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and all of the firefighters and police officers and EMS staff that I've worked with don't come home from the precinct after working an intense homicide and knock back a turkey sandwich. Tryptophan might make you sleepy, but it doesn't make you numb. June 10th, 2020. Take a breath. It seems like things are moving fast. Everything will get done. We can remember what is important: community, connections, homemade sloppy joes, while dealing with the ordinary: plumbing, car repair, a Kool-Aid shortage. Thankful for you all. We've got this. And like all fight or flight stimuli, the effectiveness and fulfillment of this coping mechanism will eventually become unsustainable and fade. We become accustomed to a new normal. And when we do, a different coping mechanism takes over. We stop worrying about making it through the next hour. Life becomes about making it through the next day. And this involved, for my partner and me, cooking. Mostly tacos. Carne asada tacos with jalapeno, cilantro, queso fresco, homemade pico. Also, those cool taco holders that you get in restaurants that make your tacos stand up on your plate. Best money I ever spent. June 13th, 2020. Let's honor this community today. To do that, I invite anyone that receives these emails to send me any thoughts you'd like to share with this community. I'll begin putting them into these daily updates. A few general thoughts on this. Let's try to limit references to politics, if possible. It can rhyme. It doesn't have to rhyme. You can talk about tacos. This community will benefit. Be well. I look forward to your words. There were some great recipes shared through this medium. For example, try making Greek tacos. So instead of using the taco seasoning, get the Greek seasoning from the spice row in the grocery store, and instead of salsa, use tzatziki, which is really easy. It's just yogurt and cucumber and garlic. It's amazing. You'll love it. Homemade corn tortillas made with a tortilla press sent to me by my one-eyed Cuban friend in Atlanta, with old school ground beef made with that 79-cent pack of seasoning you get from the store, cheddar cheese, white onions, taco sauce, and a salad of carrot, cucumber, cilantro, tomato, and green onion, and no lettuce, and a gin and tonic. July 17th, 2020. We can be okay. We can be grateful. We can be kind. We can also be angry, anxious, frustrated, apathetic, and still be okay. And roasted garlic on the grill spread on crusty bread, it's almost as good as tacos. Until tomorrow. And then we started to emerge, to grow, to start to look a little farther ahead. I would say that the human spirit was slightly ahead of Pfizer and Moderna and human ingenuity. That is, we humans adapt. We learn to thrive in a new normal. And because of this, we were able to move to the next phase. We began to look to the future, and this was reflected as well in what we wrote and in what we cooked. And for us, it was homemade turkey stock. February 22nd, 2021. Here we go. This community will continue to be effective, vigilant, kind, of grace. This community will help those in need, support those who are down, and carry those who are tired. We will share our experience, our recommended podcasts, our tacos. That will be enough. One more. Turkey carcass. Peppercorn, cilantro, onion, carrot, celery, salt, serrano peppers. If you've never done this, I promise, I know it looks not at all appetizing. But after a little time, you get this. It will change your food. And it will change your mood. And it's a gift that keeps giving. March 11th, 2021. We can see the end goal. We move decidedly toward it. Parts of the path are still covered. We can exhale. But we remain vigilant, but we remain alert, but we remain focused. We have come too far. We've got this. Now, make no mistake. Homemade stock is perfect. Yet it typically doesn't show its perfection until the future, and that's the beauty and the evidence of growth. It gets put in the fridge or the freezer and will come out later and make tetrazzini or soup or risotto down the road. Risotto with homemade turkey stock, peas, Parmesan cheese, fresh basil, and probably a gin and tonic. And just like our resilience, we will make something better down the road. March 26, 2021. We have every reason to be proud. We have been effective, vigilant, kind, of grace. We have cared for ourselves, each other, our community. We have done it every day. Every day. One more. So we made it through. Life is mostly normal. Hell, we hardly ever talk about it anymore. So I guess you could say we pretty much won the pandemic. And I have to say, I think I was the primary reason that we all got through this. I mean, you all are part of a very select group. To be able to witness this process, to witness me and my forward thinking and my spirit, I mean, at this point, what could go wrong? Well, shit. February 18th, 2022. We may be anxious, angry, frustrated, apathetic. We will be effective, vigilant, kind, of grace. And we are okay. Thank you.